Hi Libra, welcome to your April bonus reading. My name is Kimberly from the Path Illuminated. If you're returning, thank you for your support. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. You may notice you are seeing my face. I'm trying something a little bit different. We'll see how this goes, how I like it, what the response is like. In any event, Libra, hope you're doing well. As I'm recording this, it is April 14th, so we are still in the midst of Aries season. We are approaching Taurus season on April 19th, and we're still in the middle of Mercury retrograde until the 25th. And I don't know how this eclipse portal has been for you. We had the lunar eclipse on March 25th and then the solar eclipse on April 8th. I have been super exhausted and depleted, so I'm just doing my best to take things one day at a time, and I hope you are also taking care of yourself. These energies are really intense, so let's get going without further ado. Thank you, angel spirits and guides. Please help me in pulling the most relevant messages for Libra at this time. Spirit, what are the most relevant messages for Libra? Interesting. Okay, we'll get some more cards, but first card out is your card, Libra, Justice. So definitely I'm feeling like this eclipse portal has been all about bringing in balance and probably really highlighting and exposing relationships that have been out of balance, whether that's friends, family, a romantic partnership, work. I think if there has been any question about where things have been out of balance, I think that that has been revealed and is continuing to be revealed. I'm not an astrologer, but a lot of astrologers have been indicating that it's important to understand that this eclipse season, the energy is going to continue to be with us over the next 6 months. So maybe this has been slowly revealed. Maybe there have been some hard truths, right, about people who have been taking advantage of you, or relationships that have been draining you or have been, it's like there are some relationships that if you have been a people pleaser, if you've been overextending yourself, if you've been doing the most, if you've had to sacrifice your own inner balance, your own emotional health, your own physical health, that's going to be revealed, probably has already started to be triggered, right? And sometimes that can be really uncomfortable, especially if we've been blinded to this, right? And we've had some type of loyalty to individuals in our lives for whatever reason, right? Whether they're long-term friends, sorry, let's not worry about my earrings, huh? You know, what I would say is that when there's an exposure of imbalances, that's not always easy to deal with. It can be something you want to run away from. It can be something that you don't necessarily want to address. But regardless, I think that if it hasn't already been triggered and revealed, it's going to be. And again, like, we're still in Mercury retrograde until the 25th. So there could still be some murkiness about what's going on, the things that are out of balance. But I do feel like this has started to be revealed to you at this time, and it's to help you. Now, it may not feel like that, but it is. It's here to help you. So, and we have the High Priestess card of Pisces. This is the universe asking you to trust what's being revealed, asking you to really trust that inner knowing. I feel like perhaps what's being revealed at this time, Libra, are things that deep down you kind of have known, right? You kind of knew, whether it's like, as an example, right? Maybe you're working at a company and you feel like, you know, I don't really think they appreciate me. I feel like my words are falling on deaf ears. I feel like they expect me to do the most, but they're not really acknowledging it. And maybe now in certain situation that's like coming to light, where it's being confirmed for you that, like, oh, they don't appreciate me. They passed me up for a promotion or a raise, or they're giving me crap about taking time off, right? or if this is related to like a friendship or even a romantic partnership, that you've had like a sense that things were out of balance and now things are starting to come clear. Maybe you heard about a friend who was talking behind your back, right? And you had some feelings that like, I don't think this person actually is my friend. I don't know if they really like me. And if you're like me, that can be hard when you sense something energetically and you want to give somebody the benefit of the doubt, right? And you're like, am I just being crazy? Whatever those nudges were, those inner knowings that maybe in the past you have doubted, you're going to start to have those confirmed. And again, I'm feeling like that can be sometimes a bit uncomfortable, right? Sometimes, they do say ignorance is bliss. I understand the saying in the sense that like you can continue to act like you don't know what's going on because then you don't have to do anything about it. But deep down energetically, you're always going to feel uncomfortable when you are in connection and relationship with people that are taking advantage of you. Now, 4 of Coins and 10 of Swords, both in reverse. I'll show them to you upright just so you can see them. And, depending on the deck, these can have different meanings. And I'm an intuitive reader. But what I'm getting is you're going to continue to have energy leaks and be drained and have a loss of resources if you do not accept the truth, no matter how hard it is. Again, like I was saying, I feel like this eclipse season and this retrograde is revealing a lot where things have been out of balance, where people, places, and situations have been taking advantage of your good nature. But there are things that energetically you felt. But sometimes even when the truth is revealed, we don't really want to accept that means that we have, and that's sometimes why we stay in ignorance. We pretend like we don't know because then we don't have to do anything about it. But what I'm seeing here is if you don't address the imbalances, whether it's at a job, whether it's in a friendship, whether it's in a family dynamic, right? It could be a family situation where maybe you're expected to always come in and save everyone. You're expected to drop everything in your life in order to be the savior for everybody. You're not allowed to have a life. You're not allowed to have freedom. You're not allowed to have autonomy. If this is a romantic relationship, right? You're going to continue to be depleted and you're going to have a hard time holding on to everything that you've built if you don't accept an ending. And, the 10 of Swords can be a difficult energy. Doesn't mean that it's accepting an ending is never easy. But holding on to situations that are very clearly meant to end is only going to cause you more pain, more suffering, and more loss. And so you have to ask yourself, Libra, if you have been shown that a job is taking advantage of you, they're not appreciating you, they're continuing to pass you over for a raise, for a promotion, if you have friends that you have had confirmations that people are being nefarious, that they're talking behind your back, that they're trying to make you look bad. If you have a romantic partnership where it's clear that this person is abusive, is controlling, isn't pouring into you the way that you're expected to pour into them, you have to ask yourself, Libra, like, why would you hold on to something that has expired? Why would you continue to allow people to take advantage of you? What stories are you continuing to hold on to? I'm going to pull a couple more cards. That's too many. Queen of Swords, you're going to be challenged. You're going to be challenged here. because I'm seeing also, so Queen of Swords and the Ace of Coins in reverse to me is indicating like, you know what you need to do. You know who you need to cut off. You know who you need to set a firm boundary with, but you're afraid of losing out. You're afraid of, right? You have to ask yourself, Libra, right? Like, this is going to be different for each of you because this is not a personal reading, it's a general reading. If you want a personal reading, click the link below. The only way to book a one-on-one with me is via my website. But you have to ask yourself, staying in a job or friendship or romantic partnership that is draining you, that is taking advantage of you, that is disrespecting you, that's going to drain you. So what is it serving for you to stay in that dynamic? And also, in my own experience, Libra, like when you're real clear about like, hey, I care about you, but like, I'm not going to do this anymore, right? If it's at a job that you're like, hey, I'm going to clock out at 5:30 because I need to go work out. I need to spend time with my family. I have a life. And I've been working overtime for months or even years, and I haven't got promoted. I haven't got a raise, and I'm going to take time for myself. If they push back on you, that indicates to you that it's misaligned. Does that make sense? If you have a friend and you're like, you decide to confront them. Now listen, depending on the situation, this can be a direct confrontation or an indirect confirmation. Confrontation. I've had situations where I found out people were talking about me, and because of the nature of the relationship, I let it go. It was like, you know what? This person clearly has nothing better to do but then to try to start stuff. And the reason why they said this to that person is because they knew that that person was going to come to me, and I'm not getting involved in that. I have actual important things to focus on, and I don't have time for the petty crap. That's one thing. However, there are other situations where I've had to confront people and say like, why would you do that? Why would you say that? You're being disrespectful. And have to really set a boundary with them. And if I'm coming to you and I'm saying, look, this is what happened and that doesn't work for me, or this is my boundary, like I care about you, but I have other things going on in my life and you haven't even asked me how I'm doing. And I thought we had a closer friendship than that. And I expect more from you. Like if that person is going to throw it in my face and tell me that I'm being a bad friend because I have expectations, that shows me that it's misaligned. If I am in a romantic partnership and I'm saying, hey, I feel like the way you've been talking to me is disrespectful. You also have been trying to control me. And when I want to spend time with my friends or my family, you guilt trip me. And if they lash out at me and they say, oh, well, you know, if you don't do what I want, then like you don't really love me. And they're trying to guilt trip me. That shows me that it's misaligned. So it's like being willing to set boundaries and to confront things is not always your strongest suit, Libra, but that's going to bring a lot of clarity. And you have to ask yourself, right? Are you more afraid of staying in dynamics that are misaligned and continuing to dishonor yourself? Or are you afraid of losing them? It's like you can either lose yourself or lose people who are misaligned, and you have to make that choice. So 9 of Swords, lots of overthinking, lots of self-doubt, sleepless nights. And if you decide to confront either the job or the friend, the family member, the romantic partnership, I think, yes, you're going to be triggered. Especially if this is a new way of being for you, especially if you're finally willing to stand up for yourself. They're going to guilt trip you, and they're going to hit you where it hurts. They're going to do whatever they can to make you doubt yourself. And I think there's a lot of fear about the consequences. Tower in reverse. It's like, you know, deep down that if you say something, if you do something, if you enforce a boundary, that there's going to be a tower and you might lose this person. You might get some pushback at work. You might get some judgment from friends or from family members, right? Or this relationship could end. And again, this is a matter of you being honest with yourself, Libra, of like, are you more afraid of losing yourself, or are you more afraid of losing people that are misaligned with you? Because if you're in a job that's taking advantage of you and taking you for granted, there's something better out there, right? Like, you can continue to operate from a lack mentality, or you can accept the truth that's being revealed, trusting that there's something better out there, understanding that staying in misaligned situations is going to actually continue to drain you. And you're still going to experience the pain, but it's a different type of pain because you're like denying the truth, right? So this is a challenge of, are you going to choose yourself this time? And that's been the whole story of this eclipse season with the Libra Aries axis, because Libra is about the other, and you get a reputation, Libra, for being people pleasing and indecisive and conflict avoidant. And Aries, which is the self, the I am, the autonomy, the entrepreneur, the person that chooses themselves. And obviously we know both sides can be, seen in a negative light, right? You can be called selfish, but you can also be a people pleaser, and you can avoid the truth because you're so afraid of, rocking the boat. But again, are you actually going to choose the discomfort of staying in situations where you're being disrespected and taken advantage of? Or are you finally going to choose yourself this time? Only you can decide, Libra. This is your life. You have to do what's best for you, and at the end of the day, right? Your life and your situation better than anyone else. Page of Wands, Queen of Swords. I feel like this Aries season is really lighting a fire under your ASS to stand up for yourself, and you're going to continue to be challenged to find the fire within to cut off people, places, and situations that are taking you for granted, that are taking advantage of you, that are expecting you to continue to compromise yourself and to put yourself last. You need to be honest with yourself first and foremost so that you can find the courage to be honest with other people. And I hate to say it, but it's just the truth, Libra, that a lot of times if you've been in this energy of putting other people first, when you first start to communicate your boundaries and you start to keep it real with them, there's going to be pushback, and you're going to have to lean into that villain energy. You're going to have to understand that for a lot of people that have been gaining something from your self-abandonment, they're going to be triggered. They're going to be like, what? You're supposed to do what I expect you to do, Libra. You're not supposed to be having a boundary. You're not supposed to push back. You're not supposed to have anything to say. You're supposed to be easy to get along with. You're supposed to be doing what I expect you to do. If you choose yourself, understand that anything you lose will be replaced with the right people. People that actually appreciate you, people that want to invest in you, people that know they have something to learn from you, people that will honor you and respect you and will be with you for the long term. This is about Queen of Cups, emotional balance, and understanding that you have to choose yourself right now. You need to be pouring into you. Continuing to pour into other people while neglecting yourself is putting you in a very precarious place where you're not going to get a return on investment by abandoning yourself. But if you can lean into this Queen of Swords energy and be willing to say what needs to be said, be willing to cut off people, places, and situations that have been taking advantage of you, that have been, taking advantage of you because they knew they could, that have expected you to be self-compromising for their own benefit, if you are willing to do that, the universe is going to replace, whether it's a job, whether it's friends, whether it's a romantic partnership, it's going to replace you with people who actually have something to contribute, where you're not the only person who's giving into the situation. And it's about you choosing you. This may be very uncomfortable right now. I don't think there's anything easy about these energies right now, Libra. But again, I see the back and forth. I see the inner conflict of being confrontational, but maybe take that word out of it. First you got to be honest with yourself. See the truth for what it is. Trust what's being revealed and understand that staying in a job, continuing to be in a relationship or a friendship where you're the one who's giving to it all the time and you're the one who's being self-sacrificing at the expense of you, in the end is not going to benefit you. It's benefiting somebody else. And then we have the King of Swords. So this could be also an indication that if you're willing to stand up for yourself, Libra, and cut off people, places, and situations that are misaligned, you will be finding a counterpart that has just as much integrity as you. But also this can be about that inner alignment, right? Of like, you're not a bad person for choosing yourself. You're not a bad person for speaking up for yourself. You're not a bad person for having boundaries. You're not a bad person for confronting people that need to be confronted, for taking advantage of your kindness, of your goodness, of your heart. Sometimes the only way people understand is when you're direct with them. And you can't keep beating around the bush. King of Wands, you need to have confidence in yourself at this time. Again, I really do feel like Aries season is continuing to reveal things and lighting a fire under you to like challenge you. What do you really want? What's really important to you? And do you have the confidence to understand that if you cut off, whether it's a job or a friendship or a romantic partnership that is not aligned anymore and is continuing to take advantage of you, if you can accept that truth and do what needs to be done, anything that you quote unquote lose is going to be replaced. But do you have faith in that? And are you willing to choose yourself, Libra? I don't know. It's going to be up to you. You have free will. So let me know. Are you going to step into this Queen of Swords, King of Swords energy? Are you going to choose yourself this time? And are you going to accept the truth for what it is? You tell me. All right, Libra. I pulled a card from the Wild Unknown Animal Spirit deck. I have Hyena. Again, thank you for being here. I hope the messages are supportive. I hope they are beneficial for you at this time. Don't forget to like and subscribe. All right, Hyena, humor, wit, and sarcasm. The hyena personality is a jokester and crowd pleaser, but below the surface, there are unfulfilled dreams to be realized. When the hyena card appears, it's time to reflect on your reliance on sarcasm and humor to express your truth. Are you using jokes to hide old resentments in relationships or to mask things that you feel uncomfortable discussing? What would happen if you took your goals seriously? When in balance, charming, witty, and fun to be around. When out of balance, scrappy, petty, and suspicious. To bring into balance, sobriety. Yeah, something to keep in mind. That's a very interesting perspective. Like, are you making sarcastic jokes to coworkers, to friends, to a romantic partnership because you're afraid of being direct and honest about how things are not working out right now? First, you got to be honest with yourself and then ask yourself why you're avoiding the truth. What are you afraid of, Libra? Only you know. So sending you lots of love. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye, Libra.